Let's Talk Oculus is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to know how to support the show, go to patreon.com/playtestvr. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Oculus. We are on episode 14. I'm Dan from Playtest VR. And as always, the co-host Samson is here. Hey, Samson, what is happening?
Oh, not too much. It's been a while, and I am excited to get back into it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. Now, as I've been away, you've started a TikTok, right?
Oh, yes, I have. You can find me on TikTok at spreading_VR. I got into it because Smash Drums is currently having a TikTok contest.
Nice. And you're also doing like some hot chili challenges in there as well, aren't you?
I did. That did soar through the algorithm. You can catch me eating a Trinidad scorpion pepper and suffering through that.
Nice. You should eat that pepper and play one of the like VR horror games. That'll be like your two worst nightmares in one. It'll be perfect.
Oh, we'll see. I got something in the works for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so we have lots to talk about on today's show. Obviously we've been away, so there's been plenty of Facebook news, including update 32, Horizon Workrooms we'll talk about. Just last night I finished the excellent Secret of Retropolis, so I'll talk a lot about that. Samson's been in the Wild West with the new Pistol Whip DLC, and then finally we'll talk about all the new Oculus Quest releases this week, and then we have a bunch more in between. So my long ass vacation, it was all my fault. That halted the show for the last 2 weeks. But I no longer have any vacation time left because we're in North America. So we're going to be here every single Tuesday on every podcast platform. Spotify seems to be the number one that people keep finding us for whatever reason. But if you want the podcast earlier, on the Patreon channels, I will post this podcast as soon as it's recorded. Like as soon as it's recorded, rendered, ready to go, I put it on, which is normally every Thursday or on the weekend before it will go out to the public. So if you want to dip into that, then you can show us our support on Patreon at patreon.com/playtestvr. Speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to Kimberly, Kai, Andrew, and Matt, who are our patrons. And since we've been gone, there's been 3 new patrons. So let's just give a shout out to them. So we got Craig, Brandon, and Eric. And Craig he gave us our topic for episode 8, which was like the essential VR games or experiences to get started, because he just bought an Oculus Quest 2. So now he's supporting us on Patreon. So thanks so much, Craig, for that. The next one we got Brandon, and Brandon wrote a humbling message. So he said, I have a pretty extensive list of podcasts I keep up with to get me through the work week, but your show is one of the new ones I added on the list. As a Twitch streamer become father, I find it hard to make time for video games these days, so I fill myself with as much content as possible when I'm not able to game. I've been quite obsessed with my Quest 2 over the past few months, so have led me to you guys. I have some tech podcasts I listen to, but I like that you guys can just sit down and be pals talking about video games. I very much enjoy what you're doing, and I hope that it can become much more than you ever expected. Keep up the good work. Oh, kind words from Brandon. Thank you so much for supporting us. And yeah, that's exactly what we kind of wanted the podcast to be. Just a couple of buds just talking about VR, because we can talk our socks off of it. And I know Samson can as well.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brandon. And I definitely know the feeling. Well, I'm not a father, but I know the feeling of just having way too much like time bucked up. So all I can do is just listen to podcasts to keep up with the news. I've definitely been there. And then finally, we have Eric as well, who joined our Patreon. He says, I found myself listening every week to your show for the past month or so. So he must be like one of the day one listeners there. He says, I'm a big Oculus enthusiast, so much that I'm now developing a rather unique Oculus Quest app that hopefully will be one day featured on your show. Absolutely, we should feature this on your show when it's out. As a fellow aspiring creator, I appreciate what you do, and I want to help you support. I want to help support you through Patreon. My favorite apps are Chess Club, Walkabout Mini Golf, and I have an abiding fondness for Robo Recall. I actually haven't played Robo Recall, but it's always been on my wish list.
It's an OG VR game right there.
Yeah.
I played it a little bit when I first got my Quest.
Yeah, I used to when I remember just seeing the Quest 1 when it came out, and that was the game, and also on PC VR as well. Yeah, he goes on and says, I find myself occasionally hanging out in alt space trying to watch live hip-hop shows and other venues, but frustrated by the time zone issues. Yeah, I think Eric's in like Central Europe, so I can see if most of the hip-hop shows are in North American time, I can see that being an issue. That is also probably one of my issues with Oculus venues, is that there's not much on-demand content, and when there is, it comes out much later and it's all in like little clips. You can't like go back and watch the full event, which is a shame. And then he finally says, it's fantastic what you guys are doing. You keep me up to date. I especially like it when you interview Jeff Ball Jr. If you didn't see that, that was a couple podcasts ago. I think it was episode 12. And when you delve into the latest Zuckerberg musings, which we will do later today, and on the future of Oculus Quest, as well as other trending topics that will have a big impact on us. So thank you so much, Eric. And thanks to Eric, Brandon, Kai, Craig, Matt, Kimberly. We're getting a little bit of a following here now.
Yeah,
which is
we might
cool.
not be able to list them all soon.
No, I think it might be time to start a Discord server so we get to mingle with all these patrons at once. So yeah, thank you so much. Samson, any thoughts?
No, thank you so much for those kind words, Eric. And hopefully we keep you coming back.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, all the Patreon money just goes into the actual podcast itself. That's how we've managed to pay for Zoom Premium, and now Samson's in his own little void in his background. If you're watching the video podcast, he has this extreme blur, so that's what the Patreon's paying for. And also I bought this little mic stand. It's the same old mic, so I still need to upgrade that, but the mic stand and such, little by little. So thank you so much. And like I said, if you want to support us, go on patreon.com/playtestvr. Alrighty, Samson, we have tons and tons to talk about, so should we start off with the news?
Oh yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. So the first one is update 32 for the Quest has been announced. Now, every time an update for the Quest gets announced, it seems to be massive amongst the YouTube committee. So let's just talk about it here, because Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook posted the details of the new update, and he said it will include Oculus Move improvements, so it will help you track your fitness goals in VR and share stats on Facebook, Messenger, or in different groups. He gave a nod out to like some supernatural VR groups as well. And he also will have new tools to easily sync screenshots and screen recordings to your phone. And that's all we know from now. But it might have a few little extras in there. I anticipate this will be out in September, but he's not said anything on the release date yet. Anything there that excites you, Samson?
I mean, honestly, I don't use Oculus Move, so that one sort of doesn't really affect me at all. There's already the YUR app out there. I think they've got a pretty solid community with many of these features already. I know I recently saw a tweet by Synth Rider's God, Hey Falcon, saying that if anybody had any questions about YUR or its community, just send them a DM. But yeah, for me, anything that's not like tracking my heart rate, I really just like don't know that it's going to be supplying me with proper statistics. Statistics I don't really care about. Like I go by my feel. Like I know when I put in a proper VR workout, and I know when I haven't. I'm not necessarily calorie counting.
Yeah. Does YUR have heart rate tracking a potential?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't really delved into it, but I think it can connect to watches, possibly.
I know he's a popular guy, but it'd be great to have Hey Falcon on the show to talk about it more, because I don't use it either for a very similar reason. Because I have my smartwatch and such, and that kind of does the tracking, to be fair. It's kind of weird. I have this little Whoop strap, no sponsored from Whoop, but I remember doing pistol whip or something, and after I finished, I had a notification on my phone saying you were doing activity. And it's like I did the most activity I ever done in the last few weeks. And there was a little gaming version on there. You can change it to gaming. And I was like, holy crap, I've done like so much fitness in gaming. It sounds weird because it's like a picture of a controller. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I think that is the problem with it, to be honest. I think because it doesn't track your heart rate, it doesn't, it's not that accurate in terms. It just goes on based on time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't use it either. I did have it up for the start. I think it's a nice idea, but I think it needs more. And I feel like YUR must have some sort of heart rate tracker attached to it because it is much more popular. But you know, they're getting better, I guess. Oculus Move is getting better. I don't know if any of listeners are using it. Definitely let us know. You can write to us at letstalkoculus@gmail.com and let us know if you're using it, because definitely don't use it. But yeah, if it does connect to a smartwatch, it'd be good. But I kind of like the other feature where you can sync screenshots and recordings to your phone, because at the moment, when you create a screenshot or recording of gameplay, you can only share it to Facebook, and that's it. And if you plug in your Quest to a PC or to a Mac, then you can put it onto your PC. But I think the whole purpose of Oculus Quest 2 is to have it untethered, right? And it's for people, like, not many people own PCs or computers nowadays. Like, a lot of people just have like tablets and that's it. So I think this is great because now they can record their gameplay and just put it on their phone or probably tablet as well, and can go from there.
Yeah, I really like that bit, and the bit with the sharing your workouts to like Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I imagine that there are Facebook communities that are
Yeah.
like more focused and like care more about sharing their workouts, and that sort of incentivizes them, and that makes a whole lot of sense. But yeah, I love the ability. Like, I'm hoping that you can just access your recordings right on the phone app and like somehow download them, edit them, and whatever. I was a little disappointed they removed the like share to
Yeah.
Facebook whatever feature. That was definitely a thing I used to share some games with family members or like Facebook friends that I know. Like, going to my YouTube channel is a bit of friction, but I know they're just like browsing Facebook all day.
Yeah. No
So
idea.
yeah.
No idea why they got rid of that, to be honest. No idea. It doesn't seem, I don't, yeah, I have no idea why. Like, there doesn't seem any reason why they would take that feature out. I would say should add more streaming features, like have Twitch in there, have YouTube in there. Like, I feel like the PlayStation does that. And they've done that since the PS4 days, having Twitch
Yeah, the share button.
integration.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be ideal, especially in VR. But at the same time, sharing a VR gameplay just like as it is going to be weird without having you see the person in VR, like in mixed reality, or just off to the side, like one of my like gameplay videos. I think that might be also an issue of it just doesn't represent it well. So maybe they took it off, going, it's not good marketing. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and just following up on our like TikTok conversation, like if you're able to just get your videos right on your phone, set it up right in TikTok, make the edit and post it, like
Yeah.
that could be pretty huge for spreading.
Yeah, definitely. And remember as well, in the last update, I think 31 or maybe 30, they included mixed reality straight into their own system. I know you can already do it via a couple other apps, but now that Facebook put it into their own app itself, you can kind of record that and put it in mixed reality for a few games. And now they will probably go for some good TikTok videos, I would say. If you know, I've never used TikTok, so I don't claim to be the expert here, but you know,
Yeah,
I feel like
honestly,
that would be better than just the gameplay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that Steve Buscemi gif of like him like, how you doing, high school kids?
Yeah.
Fellow high school kids. That's how I feel when I use TikTok. But hey, that's where the people are. So
That's where the people are. You know, people like those chili peppers. All right, let's move on to the second piece of news, and it's the Facebook launched Horizon Workrooms out of nowhere, to be honest. over the past week. Now, this is a new service which launched in open beta, which is currently from today, for free over a web-based video call or through your Quest 2. So essentially, you can put on your headset and be in a conference room and have like a meeting in VR. There's whiteboards, there's different note-taking apps and such, and it supports up to 16 people in VR, but you can also add 50 additional people through like a Zoom call, essentially on the screen. So you can have, up to 50 people, and this looks really cool. I know there's other apps available, but the thing is, because Quest 2 is made by Facebook, having it all integrated into one system is good, because obviously they can put their marketing behind it. But I wrote down a few of the key points here, because I think there's a lot of cool, innovative things that they're doing with this. And one of which is that you can use your physical surroundings to do things in VR. Now, what I mean by that is, for example, you can hold your Oculus touch controller like a pen and physically press it against your desk below you, and then it will start drawing in the actual meeting room itself. Like, you can have like a tablet in your meeting room, but if you're physically writing with your Oculus Quest controller, you can use it as a pen, which is really cool, because you get that physical feedback. You're not just writing into open space. And it's the same when you're like in front of the whiteboard. You can physically, if you have a whiteboard at home, or if you just have your wall at home, you can physically write on the wall and it will come on the whiteboard in the meeting, which will make it much more accurate than you just writing in blank space,
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is an awesome feature.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's almost like getting haptic feedback. Like, that's
Yeah.
so important for immersion.
Yeah, definitely. They say it's like some sort of mixed reality. So they use the pass-through feature to make this happen. And of course, they're supporting now more of the Mac keyboards. So the Apple Mac keyboards are now supported, and the Logitech K830, which was supported before, can also be tracked. So you can track your keyboards in there. You can run a remote desktop application. So you as the host, for example, can have your own computer screen in front of you, and you can choose to share that with the rest of them, or you can just have it in front of you, which is pretty nice. There's obviously built-in hand tracking, and this is, I think, is the first ever app that Facebook's made, which is just built from the ground up with hand tracking in mind, which is cool. There's another feature which I love as well, and that's spatial audio, and that's been like a hot topic amongst a lot of tech companies recently. I know Sony have got that running on their PlayStation, but this is essential, I think, spatial audio. And essentially what it is that if you're sat in a room, spatial audio is like a 3D audio. So if someone's talking on the left of you, you can hear them on the left. Someone's talking on the right of you, you can hear them on the right. That's like your basic surround sound. But with spatial audio, if someone's sitting on the left of you and say a few feet away, it sounds like he's a few feet away, and if they're closer, it sounds like they're closer. And if they're like facing away from you, say they're facing the whiteboard, it sounds like they're facing the whiteboard, like the sound bounces off the whiteboard. So it sounds more like true sound in real life. I think that's really good for immersion, and being in that VR space, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you're actually going to feel like you're in the same room with these people.
Yeah.
And it'll sound like you're in the same room with them as well.
Yeah, which is going to be great. Another thing that is free, it's going to be absolutely free to use. That's what they've said. I don't know if they put a limit on how many people you can put in VR. Like, for example, like Zoom has like a limit of 2 people or 3 people before it, you have to end it after 40 minutes. So I don't know if Facebook are going to do that, but as far as I'm aware, it's free. Is what they've said for now. Privacy now. Privacy and Facebook are a little of a sticky subject, and people were wondering in terms of privacy, like if they're in a meeting and they're talking about, I don't know, a new product that's not launched yet, and they're writing on the whiteboard, they're showing prototypes, they're discussing, what is the privacy like? Now, Facebook have been quite hard on it, and they've said that all the pass-through stuff, so everything that you're showcasing from your room, is done locally. Facebook and other parties, other third parties, have absolutely no access to anything that's going on. Other users also can't see your computer screen. unless you choose to share. There's a few other privacy features that they've put in, but essentially when you're in this hub, it's only you and the other person, or the other team members, and that's it. Obviously they've been hard on it because they've had a lot of bad press in the past in terms of privacy, and I think that will stop people using the service. But hopefully what they've said has encouraged people a little bit to use it, because I think this is a really cool feature, and I think it will get a lot of people using the Quest, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. But you don't want to be in like a very important secret board meeting and then like somebody releases a clip from it, right?
Yeah,
So they
especially
definitely have to protect that. Yeah.
if you're a competitor as well. If you were like HTC and you were in there talking about the next standalone headset, if you're doing it through a Quest 2 on Facebook,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. A couple other things just to say. You can do a lot of things like the meeting apps. You can sync your calendar, you can capture notes, you can send files. There's different apps involved in there. Rooms can also be set up with different seating arrangements, probably different environments at some point as well to keep it fresh. So I think what Buzz said was, it's not quite like the real life thing. It never is going to be, but it was probably going to be the next best thing. So, and what I've read and what I've seen from different people who have tried the beta, they say it works very well, and they're quite impressed with it, and they see a lot of good potential with it.
Yeah, most of what I've seen in content creators' reviews of it has pretty much all been positive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few things that personally, like, I wish they could get beyond humanoid avatars.
Yes.
And I like really don't understand why everybody wants their avatar in VR to look exactly like their real life self. I don't know. I spend all day in this body. Like
Yeah.
I don't necessarily always want to be in this body when I'm in VR. And personally, like I don't really I'm unemployed right now. I don't need like this isn't marketed towards me currently. But yeah, I could see like in my last job when it went remote, like potentially using this and it being
Schools,
yeah,
right?
a decent product every once in a while. I mean, I don't think it's ready to fully like replace Zoom and like
No.
everything we have now, but like I think I saw someone tweeted like a Henry Ford quote, and it sort of made me think of this compares analogy to this, and it was, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.
Yeah.
And so like it's getting there. It's not quite gonna replace Zoom and like everything 100%, but it does have features that can help.
Well, I think there's a lot of potential in it because of the fact that you can put in your own objects because of the path through and such, and you can show off prototypes. You can do a little bit more of a hands-on approach to it, and I feel like the hand tracking would be pretty good because Facebook have built this from the ground up with hand tracking in mind. So I don't think it's going to be like a bad experience. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to try the beta, to be honest, but there's a lot of potential. Like you just mentioned, I feel like in schools and maybe lecture theaters, this could be a great option. It also depends on the headset itself. So I was going to talk about it a little bit later on when we talk about what we've been playing, but I haven't got my Elite strap right now because it broke, and then I bought a new one, but then I returned it before I went on vacation. So, and then my new one should come next week. So I thought I might as well hold off and just use the stock strap. Oh, God, that stock strap is. I thought when I first put it on, I was like, actually, this is not too bad. I kind of like how it's stretchy and I can move it around and not worry that it's going to snap. I guess that's just Elite strap problems, But I kind of like, this is not too bad. But then after playing, I was in it for like an hour, and so front heavy, and it was the
Yeah,
first
the
time I
weight.
ever got
Mhm.
like marks on my head from the VR. Like I never really had that since I've had the faceplate from VR cover.
Mhm.
Never really had that, to be honest. And yeah, it's so front heavy here, and it's like flipped up a little bit, and I'm trying to bring it down, and yeah, the weight's not great with it. And the thing is, if that's the stock strap for people using it, they're not going to like the experience. Like like we've been on this call for a while. Obviously, the podcast's been going on for like 20 minutes, but like we've been talking for a while before. And if you did that in VR, you'll get tired. Like I get tired just playing Demio for 3 hours,
Yeah, for sure.
um, even with the standard strap. So I think it also depends on the headset itself. And I wonder if they would. I don't think they will because they've got rid of the Go and the Rift now. But I was just wondering if they ever come out with a headset like the Go again, just for lightness and meetings and such, just for that
Yeah,
sole purpose. But I don't know if they will because
I
I
feel
think
like
they could have kept the Go going.
yeah, going. I like it. I feel like tech is just like moving, like it's always moving very fast. Like things that like it's gonna get lighter, it's gonna get more comfortable as generations go along, and
Yeah.
so like, and while keeping those same features.
Yeah. Well, I've been told in terms of like the HTC Vive Pro and the what's the Steam one called?
In index.
Index. Yeah, the Index. I don't have them obviously, but I've heard they're super comfortable to wear compared to something like the Quest. They're still heavy, obviously, but because of how the strap works and how the weight distributed, there's different alternatives. So I feel like when the next Quest will come out, which I feel like it will come out next year, it's going to be much, much better in terms of comfort, and they're just going to get better. So I think that's when you'll see more of an adoption. I think right now with people with just a stock strap, they don't want to really spend another $100 or $60 or whatever on another strap, and then and it's not very comfortable.
Yeah, I recently so one of my friends that I play Among Us with, I found out he has a Quest 2, or it's really his girlfriend's, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, yeah, I don't really use it that often because it's just not very comfortable compared to, I think he has a Rift S.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you gotta get a different strap. Like that's number one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's into 3D printing. So I gave him a couple, like it's on Thingiverse, like a couple things he could potentially 3D print for himself. But yeah, that stock strap is no bueno. And just talking about other headsets, I've spent some time in PC VR at actually our our Patreon, and he in his Reverb 2, G2 or whatever, and
Yep.
yeah, it's very comfortable, I find.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So there is different ways, and that you like the stock strap because yeah, okay, you got the buddies you can 3D print, but the average person, they
Yeah.
just want to pick it up on the shelf and go, and yeah, that stock strap is just no brainer. It really needs to be better for the next iteration. Like they can't cut costs on it, to be honest, if they want to push for the mainstream like this, because no one's gonna, okay, now I need to buy another strap. And
Yeah.
people don't know that. They just want to pick up the Quest and go. And if they pick up the Quest and go, try the standard strap and they're like, it's too heavy, it's not comfortable, that's their probably first VR experience. We've talked about this before. If the first VR experience is bad, they're probably
Yeah,
not going
no
to pick
good.
it up
Yeah.
for a very, very long time unless someone else shows them again.
It definitely should have come with the Elite strap, but yeah, it would have cost at least $30 to $50 more.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna have to wait for the third iteration of the Quest
Yeah.
To get that. I hope anyway. I think it'll be a big misplay on their front because I feel like the PlayStation VR is going to be comfortable as hell. I mean, the first one was pretty comfortable, I thought, with the adjustments that you can make with the Halo strap. So yeah,
Yeah, Sony won't mess around. That thing's gonna be sweet.
no, that thing's gonna be dope. It's gonna cost a lot, but it's gonna be pretty good. Gonna be pretty good. Oh, also before moving on and talking about like ergonomics and such, I met up with Robin from Robin's Reality, if anyone knows that, on Twitter, and when I was in Montreal, and she was talking about how she hates the Oculus Quest 2 controllers because they're too small. They're too big, like they're too wide. She had tiny hands, and she loves the Quest 1 controllers, how thin they were. So it's another one. Like I've never had a problem. I have quite big hands, so I've never really had a problem with the Quest 2 controllers. I actually find them nicer than the Quest 1s that I've tried before. But maybe they need to find out some more ergonomic controllers. Like look at PlayStation 1 with the big ball. That's probably going to be quite ergonomic in the way you hold it, the way you grasp it. Maybe maybe the next controller iteration, they have to think about, because they got to think about these things for just the average person now that they want to push it for more than just gaming. They want to push it for, theater. They want to push it for comedy shows. They want to push it for businesses. So
I did have that thought when I first got my Quest 2. I was like, whoa, these feel big. At this point, I've gotten used to them, and I even use like the VR cover grips, which really make them
they do
a little bit bigger. But the knuckle grips, I find, like the knuckle strap, I find helps because it just like it keeps it on.
It helps because you don't have to grasp the controller
Exactly.
itself or
Yeah.
with as much force, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'd recommend that. I don't use them myself, but I would recommend it, to be honest. They are pretty comfortable. All right, let's move on to the next more Facebook stuff. I guess we're on Oculus podcast. So the Facebook Connect date got announced. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's like Facebook's annual conference. It used to be called Oculus Connect, I believe. And then they changed it to Facebook yesterday because they want last year, sorry, yesterday, next last year's that because they added like AR stuff and more stuff than just Oculus. But that's announced for October 28th, 2021. Now, that's normally a month later than what they normally would. They normally have it in September. Last year was around mid-September to end September, which when they announced the Oculus Quest 2. What do you think? Any thoughts on this one? I was thinking that this is kind of late and they need some heavy hitters for this Quest,
Yeah, it's exciting to look forward to. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a big deal that it's delayed a little bit. Who knows? It's very close to Halloween. Maybe it'll be a release of Resident Evil.
You're right. I think you're right. I think that's a 10 out of 10 prediction right there.
And yeah, I imagine they'll release some sort of hardware news, whether it be like a Quest Pro or they're like sunglasses that they've got going on with Ray-Ban. And then mostly like software updates and features coming, and maybe like a game or two release that's going to be for holiday season.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be very, if any of you watched the last year's one, it'd be like 2 hours long, and the majority of it would be technology, AR and such. But they will have a good section on Oculus, and yeah, the thing is they could not do anything Oculus in this if they're not going to have any Oculus hardware, and just, I mean, they might talk about the business side. And they might just have like a gaming showcase around this time as well if they wanted to. They could definitely do that. We've still not had a gaming showcase since April, but they really need something. The thing is, like, I'm looking at the new releases. We're going to talk about what's coming out this week later on. And there's really nothing happening. We got Resident Evil. We got Until You Fall. No, Until You Fall. That's a different game. After the Fall. After the Fall coming out. Lone Echo, which we're going to talk about in a second, got delayed until the fall as well. Yeah, we just don't have much going on. With Star Wars also is going to come out the second half of it. Jurassic World maybe. Still heard nothing about that one, to be honest. They need something. They need some hitters because I'm looking at the store and there's still a lot of stuff going on. But if you've been around, I mean, for like me and you who's played the Oculus to death now, what are we playing every week? We're playing Synth Riders and Roper and Walkabout, and it's the same old Hyperdash and such, because there isn't anything coming out, which is kind of a problem. But so we need something. We need some stuff coming out for this Quest. And interesting you say that the Quest Pro will probably be announced, because I don't think they'll say anything, to be honest. I don't think they'll say anything unless they will, and it will be like March next year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% gung ho on it being announced or anything, but I think there's potential for them to say something about it. Maybe it's just like some features that will be in it. I don't know really.
We'll talk more about that when we do our predictions episode closer to the time, because I'm sure we'll do that. But yeah, so that's October 28th. And then, like I said, on the next piece of news, Lone Echo 2 delayed. It was meant to be out now, I think, on recording, right? But it got delayed. It got delayed earlier. I feel it got delayed while I was on vacation, to be honest. Yeah, until the fall. No release date, nothing. Just
after the fall.
After the fall.
Yeah, and I saw Green Hell also got delayed. And
Yes.
honestly, I'm like all for these delays because
100%.
like it means that the product's going to be better,
Yeah.
hopefully. And so like devs, take all the time you need because it's more important that these games play well and like work well on release than like releasing something that's in alpha or beta and then patching it. Like
Yeah, or a game that's half done,
mhm.
i.e. Star Wars and Jurassic World. It'd be nicer if they were all like complete package before they released, you know. Yeah, I agree. I'm all for delays, all for delays. I'm just worried about what's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm worried about what's coming out. Yeah, and then our final kind of piece of news, it's esports season. It's kind of more of an announcement. I know, Samson, you know a bit more about the VR Olympics. Do you want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, I can't say I know a lot, but yeah, Val VR tournaments. It's going to be held, I think, starting on recording day here, August 21st,
Yep.
through early September the 12th. Many prizes, monetary prizes, divided between all the games. I think it's got to be upwards of about 10 or so games, I think,
Yeah.
taking part. I'm personally most interested in Synth Riders and Walkabout, though I don't think I'm necessarily at Olympic level in the latter. Uh, I'm interested to see like where I fall in the Synth Riders crowd there.
We need to
Um,
I should what I should do is you should enter the Synth Riders Olympics and we'll produce some t-shirts for the patrons for like a Samson Synth Riders team Let's Talk Oculus or something. That'd
oh
actually be
god.
pretty cool, like your own little like esports thing.
Man,
I
I don't
don't
want to
think
get
we'll
ahead of myself. I might be humbled.
we'll see, we'll see. Well, maybe not this time. I feel like because it's already started, but we'll see if Samson does well, if he wins a medal, you know. Maybe we'll have to get some congratulations Samson t-shirts to the Patreons out there, you know.
Hell
But
yeah.
pressure's on. Better
Yeah.
start practicing, you know.
Yeah, the issue is like I mostly play DLC and like custom songs, and it's only
The free
like
ones.
yeah, it's only OG game songs, I
Mm.
think. So like the original and I have not played all of those and certainly not played them all on master level. So I got some practicing to do, but I think I got some time.
Well, yeah, you got time. After this podcast, you'll be playing it, I hope. And tomorrow you should be playing it, you know. You need a personal trainer coach for the synth riders. We'd be like, okay, we need to get your training session. You need to eat right as well. We need to get some good food down here. I don't want to see no pizzas. I want some good green veg. You know, you're
Oh.
an athlete now.
God, I feel like in Beerfest when they're training.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love that film. Holy crap.
uh,
The last time, it was just a quick side thing. Beerfest, I watched for the first time during lockdown because everyone in my two housemates were like, "You got to watch this film. It's a big North American crave, but you have to do beers." I was like, "Okay." So we went to the liquor store. This was peak lockdowns. This was like in May, so everything was shut, but you can go to the shop, you know. So we went to the liquor store and I said, "What should I get?" They're like, "Oh, just get a 24 pack of Corona, a box of Corona." I was like, "Okay." So I grabbed the box of Corona, but then both of them also had a 24 box of Corona with them as well in the line. I was like, "Wait, what?" So then we got as we were walking home, we were about like 5 minutes away. Everyone on the street were like, "Oh, big night, boys, big night." And this is like a Tuesday during lockdown, right? So we sat down, and essentially what we did was we put all the beers in the cooler in the fridge, and we had two boxes each, and we wrote our names in the box and scattered them around the house. I know we were going complete off topic, but I could
it's okay.
continue the
Go on.
story.
Go on.
Um, so around five, we had the cutoff at 5:30 p.m. was when the last time we could eat anything or drink anything. And the thing is, we could not drink anything else other than beer, and we could not eat anything until 11 p.m. So we
Jesus.
had from the 6 o'clock was the showing time. So we had from 5:30 p.m. till 11 p.m. was we had to drink. And it was like who can drink the most beers. Now I'm British. We have two guys from Vancouver, pretty much, or BC, and one guy's a hockey guy. He's 6'7", so we all thought he was gonna win. I did my first 2 beers in the first 5 minutes, and them two are like rookie mistake, rookie mistake. Oh god, it was. And so we had drinking games during Beerfest, so I had to choose a character, and every time they drank, we drank, and then every time they said a word or something happened or whatever, we had to drink and such. So it was all good fun and games. Anyway, by the end of the night, I finished with 11 beers and 3 shots. Okay.
Wow. It's impressive.
This is like when I say, this is between 5:30 p.m. and 11. I did 11 beers and 3 shots. I was done. My other housemate, Sean, he did 14 beers, no shots. So pretty much on the same level, right? John, remember, we have 24-pack of beers. John did 26 beers. He was so
into yours.
Yeah, he was so into it. He even did a couple bonus beers to keep it going. And my God, right? Okay, so I went off to bed. I went to brush my teeth. I came over, and John's just sitting in the kitchen on the floor, just with his head down. And I was like, oh no. So I grabbed him. I dragged him all the way to bed. But that's not all, Samson. And don't worry, we'll continue with Let's Talk Oculus in a second. When I woke up the next day, me and my housemate Sean, we were dead. We were done, obviously, as you would when you drink that much beer in so little time. But John, he was in the freaking living room watching this old classic 1993 hockey game, as any Canadian do, drinking more beers on FaceTime with his brother. So he drank, in the end of the day, he drank 36 beers before he consumed anything. Before he consumed pizza, before he consumed water or anything. 3 p.m. was the time he finally was like, okay, I need a pizza now or something.
That's a true Canadian. That was a hockey player?
Well, he's not a hockey player, but he did play hockey back in the day.
Gotcha.
It was I think he was a goalie, 6'7" guy, big guy.
Jiminy Crickets.
Anyway, that was Beerfest. I'm sorry, we must have lost a few viewers there. Let's go back to Let's Talk Oculus, and we'll talk about what we've been playing.
Yes.
I'll spare you my voice a little bit. Samson, you've been playing a bunch of Smoke and Thunder, the DLC from Pistol Whip. I did dabble in the first DLC, the first mission yesterday, and I couldn't get past it because I was on hard mode. But as soon as I started it, I straight away had a big smile on my face. I was like, this is great already.
Yeah.
So tell me more about it.
It feels great. Simply put, like, buy this game if you don't own it. It's amazing. I think they did just increase the price, but the styles and the customization you can do now, it's all incredible. Like, they added a bunch of brawler weapons. My God, if you're doing the brawler, though, be prepared to duck and dodge. I mean, I played Pistol Whip 2089 the day before to prepare myself, and I couldn't do stairs for like a day after this DLC came out. I was just like struggling around. Very fun. The music's great. I love the new gun, the boom shot. I think it's just incredible.
What is the boom shot? Tell me more about that.
It's just like it's got 2 shots. It's basically like a sawn-off shotgun.
Right.
Is like compared to like I only really know that from GTA, I guess. But like boom, boom, it takes off their shield, and it feels great. You do just have to reload a lot. So I like to play that one or use that weapon with infinite ammo and then just go at it.
Yeah, the brief moment I was in, I loved it straight away. I think the art style is cool. The music is really good. I like the voice acting that's in it. You play a female protagonist in the game, and it's just more of what you love. And I was playing on hard mode, and Jesus, I was ducking, diving. In just the first one, where you do have 2 revolvers with you, but still you have people charging at you, and you got to dive, and you're all over the place. And I was like, okay, I'm back in Pistol Whip. This is honestly, it's such a recommended game. If you haven't already. Now, Samson, why is it free? Why did I just not need to pay for this? This seems insane that I didn't need to pay for this extra part of DLC, because if you own Pistol Whip, it's just an update.
Yeah. I mean, they did increase the price of the base game. I think now it's $29.99 US. So that's really
Worth every
where
penny.
yeah, worth every penny. That's where they're gonna make their money back on it. And it's just like, I feel like when Pistol Whip came out, it wasn't necessarily it wasn't necessarily worth the price. And
Mhm.
now it's like beyond worth the price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so what one part I really liked in the Pistol Whip DLC is the horses and the barrels that explode. Just incredible. Goes to the beat. You got to try it.
I didn't get to the horses, but I did see the barrels. Yeah, I did see the
Okay.
barrels. Yeah, that it went absolutely mental because I like to throw that into hard mode, but because I haven't played it for a few weeks now because I've been away, I realized maybe I should have put it in normal, or maybe I should just sharpen my skills in the standard like arcade and then jump into it hard because I just feel like really fun when it's in hard because you're literally going like crazy. That might be a good TikTok, you
Oh
know.
yeah, that one's hard, like really hard on hard. I played through the whole campaign on normal mode,
Yeah.
and I've since gone back and like I've gone into hard mode on certain songs, but I'll generally like play with different styles than what it sets up for you. I do like to use the gun from 2089, the like spray gun.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh
yeah.
yeah, that
That
one's
would
pretty
help a
cool.
lot actually, because sometimes there's loads of enemies just all in
Yeah,
front of you, all lined up, and you can just
yeah.
yeah. How was the I mean, I guess there's not many spoilers in this, but how was the boss battle? Was it different to 2089 or was it very similar to how it works? If it had a boss
Uh
battle.
Gosh, quite, I haven't replayed that one since I played it. I don't
Okay.
quite remember it. I do. It is different for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't tell you really what the plot is of honestly either DLC. I'm not playing Pistol Whip for the plot.
No, no. Although I don't know what the plot was for 2089. I just remembered you were just in like you were getting tortured kind of thing.
Yeah,
And you were like, yeah, you had to defeat, I don't know. Actually, no, and I'm just saying random words. I actually don't have a clue what the plot was. So it's just that I love the aesthetic. And what you were saying earlier, you're right. This is now the complete package. And I think even with 2089, it was the complete package already.
hmm
That's why I was like, why are we not paying for this DLC? It feels like this should be a paid DLC. Maybe 2089 was maybe going to be free, but yeah, this should definitely be the paid DLC. But alas, it's not. Um, Maybe it will now in the future if they put new ones out because I feel like $30 is like the limit for VR titles most of the time.
yeah,
So I
for
think they'll
sure.
keep it at $30 and maybe the next one will be DLC. But they crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. From just the first play session that I did, I was like, this is already perfect. This is already a great experience. And I've seen a lot of reviews from it and everyone loves it as well. It's just more great. Did you get a chance to mess around with the new styles feature at all or not?
Yeah, I've definitely messed around with it. I've customized some of the guns. I love changing the sounds of some of the guns. There's like some Nerf like water gun type of
Yeah,
things that
yeah,
you
yeah.
could use too. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of dual wielding, and I've just ordered from Etsy these 3D printed sort of gun stocks, or my blur's messing it up, but yeah, they fit great, easy to take on and off, which is one of my concerns. And I like the added weight, and you really
Yeah.
feel like you're holding a pistol and pistol whipping people.
And you can add more weight to it, right?
Yeah, there's one I bought has like a custom thing where you can slide it off, you can throw some coins in there and add as much weight as you need.
Mhm.
Personally, I think it adds enough weight already, so
Yeah.
but I'll probably try it with some coins.
Yeah, I mean, unless you were going in with the shotgun, you can add way more weight, so it feels like you're holding more of a
Yeah.
radio object. But I like that because that's one of the problems I had with the AMVR 11 table tennis paddle that I had that I showed off the show maybe a few shows ago. I've made a YouTube video about it. Is one of the things I didn't like was the top heaviness of the racket or the paddle, should I say. I wish I could add weight to it in different certain places, but you couldn't. But yeah, that's good. That's good that they put the coin feature in. I think that's a clever idea to add weight to it. You just got it on Etsy, did you?
Yeah,
Or
from I believe it was Hello Real.
yeah,
Highly recommend. I think I sent a tweet about it. At You can find me there on Siegel at Siegel Maniac. It's a sort of pun on my last name. But yeah, I had a question. I couldn't figure out how to get the trigger in. I shot the guy a message within minutes, like on Etsy. He responded with
Nice.
3 follow-up photos, like tutorial on how to do it. Said if I had any questions, like
Yeah.
just to reach out again.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, I was able to do it.
Yeah, that's great. Does he do many? I assume he's doing different.
Yeah, there's a few different models. Definitely
Yeah.
don't make sure if you have a Quest 2, you don't buy the Quest 1 model.
Hmm.
I honestly, it was all like a little, there was a lot of models. I don't know. I
They're
just
all
sort of like
3D.
picked, yeah,
They're
they're
all
all 3D
yeah,
printed. Very high quality 3D print though. Like,
yeah,
can't, not really, I'm
yeah,
not worried about breaking that so much.
yeah, definitely. That's good. I wonder if you can get the files for the 3D print as well, or you know,
Probably not, as this seems like a monetary thing.
yeah. Unless you
But
could be like, you can message him and go, hey, I'll pay you $10
for the
less if I
files,
can
yeah,
just
yeah,
get
yeah.
the files so I can make one of my, if you have your own 3D printer. I think a lot of
Right.
people bought 3D printers during the pandemic, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pistol whip. Amazing. Just like as we all presumed, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Let's move on to what I've played, and that's well, I've not played much. I did tweet out me just eating a big ass poutine saying that I'm playing a lot of VR right now. But that's the Secret of Retropolis. This game came out, I believe, earlier this month, if not late July. And it is fantastic. So essentially, it's short. It's a short experience. It mingles like a point and click adventure with a VR film. You know, we're talking like Madrid Noir, like Wolves on the Walls, and all the other birds one. I forgot what it's called, Paper Birds, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, very similar to those as well. Essentially, it is in two chapters, and it is short. I think it took me 40 minutes to finish the whole lot. Maybe a tad bit longer because I got stuck on one of them. Um, but what it does, it's got like a retro LA Confidential look to it, but there's just robots instead of humans. So the actual basis of the story is that the robots want to remember the humans. So they want to go back to the good old days. So they go back to LA 1964 days where everything they make this so funny. Like they have really good jokes throughout the dialogue. It's really good. And you play this one detective who has no friends, apparently. And there's one woman who's an actress, a robot actress, I guess. She comes in. Her husband has stolen her necklace, and the necklace is used to power her robot. And if she doesn't have it for a certain amount of time, she'll die. So essentially, you need to go and retrieve the diamond, the necklace from it. And like I said, it's in 2 stages. The first stage is more like a tutorial stage where you're trying to steal the briefcase which has the diamond in, and you're just kind of figuring out, oh, okay, this is how the game works. You're looking for different, it's like a little bit of a puzzle game, but there's not too many, it's not hard. Like it's not hard. Like I did get stuck, but that's just because I couldn't find where I was looking at.
Hmm.
It is a seated experience as well. It tells you to sit down, which is kind of nice because it is a relaxing game in that front. I played it at like 11 p.m. last night, just before I was writing the script, and it was a nice just to sit down and experience that. The second chapter is much more in depth. It's much longer. There's 2 different endings, which is cool because once you play through it, once you finished it, you have one ending, and then in the menu system, it lets you play the last scene again if you want to. So you don't have to play through the whole thing again. Just like play the last little bit where you have to make that choice, which is cool because both choices leave it on a cliffhanger. And after the game was done, I went through the extras. There's a little extras feature, and it goes through all the concept art that they did for the game, which was really nice to go through. You can choose the different music that was in the game, and it has a great soundtrack. It was all like originally composed for the game. And there's a little part on the right where you can add your email list to get more details in the game. And if you add your email in, they'll send you posters via email, and
That's
they
pretty
look
cool.
really nice. They look really
Yeah.
nice. And they even said on the email where they've been working on the sequel to the game or adding more DLC, because like I said, it is kind of short. It would be nice if there was, okay, that's your chapter 1. Let's go for chapter 2 now, and flesh it out with different like missions, like LA Noire style, if you remember, where you have different case files and one mission's a case file. This is like one case file. Different case files would be cool if they could add 2, maybe 3. There is only 3 guys. I think they live in Israel. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's where they're from. And that's where they live, and that's where they build the game. So essentially, they even said in the email where they were just 3 guys who just wanted to, who just love VR, so they just learned how to develop and create this game, and it's beautiful. I would 100% recommend this game. By the way, I would 100% recommend. I don't know the price. I'm not sure what the price is. On top of my head, they sent me the code. I reach out to them, and they sent me the code earlier this month. I think Samson's looking it up as I'll continue to waffle on. But it's really clever. You can't like lose in the game. Like you can't die or anything. Like if you choose the wrong, or if you try and do the wrong thing, the lead character will just do a dialogue. Will be like, nope, that seems like a bad idea. Nope, I don't want to kill this guy, etc. It's funny as well. There is a one scene in the chapter 2 where you have to kind of bribe the butler, and the way, like, if you keep bugging him, the way his dialogue goes crazier and crazier, and how he exaggerates his word is so funny. And you get there's loads of achievements in the game, and depending on all the secret things that you find and the stuff that you pick up, or the secret dialogue that you do when you keep interacting with a certain person, you get achievements. So I think I got every achievement, if not by one, when I finished it. But I did literally like do each scene like thoroughly. Like I went through everything before moving on to the next thing. So yeah,
it is $12.99 USD.
Yeah, $12.99 USD. It's on the store, right? It's not an app lab, it's on the store itself. Yeah, I would fully recommend it to anybody. Unfortunately, I don't have any codes for this one. Maybe I'll reach out to them and ask them if they have like a code. But to be fair, they are just 3 people, so I would just say 100% support them for $12.99. It's worth it. I think this is one of my favorite games that I've played this year, and it's short, but it's $12.99. You know, and I guess you could compare to like something like Madrid Noir, which is much less interactive. That is what, $8.99 or something, or around that
somewhere
price.
around there.
Yeah, and that's around 45 minutes as well. You know, so it's a little bit more pricier, but it's way more interactive, and I think it's better as well, to be honest. The art style is fantastic. Yeah, I can't sing any more praises about this game. It's a really good experience. It's nice. Obviously, we got Pistol Whip that we just spoke about, which is amazing, but that's another just a shooting game where we have so many of these shooting games out there. If you want something completely different, something charming, something relaxing, Secret Retropolis, I would definitely recommend. And Samson, yeah, I would definitely say you should definitely get it as well.
Yeah, when I was looking at the price, I just bought it.
Okay, he just bought it. Like this guy's a buying machine when it comes to the Oculus store. I feel like you're
gotta support them devs.
I want to see Samsung's credit card bill, because I think all it is just Oculus, 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 and it's like, oh, there was the grocery shop, and then it's Oculus, Oculus, Oculus.
It's a good amount of Oculus there.
He eats noodles because of he supports the devs.
Yeah. Speaking of not shooting games, though, I also got into the platformer Vex. Played the first few levels. It reminds me of like Rayman, Crash Bandicoot. It's very beautiful, bright. It's actually like a pretty sizable game, like 8.5 gigabytes, I think.
Oh, okay.
So far I've enjoyed it. The camera, as I read in a lot of the reviews of it, is a bit finicky, can sometimes get annoying. And I think I might try to wait for like an update to come out before I really delve back into it. But yeah, I enjoyed what I got out of it so far, and I do love platformers, and it's a seated experience as well.
What's wrong with the camera? Is it not similar to
You like
Moth?
So it's not quite like it moves a lot more than I felt like in Moss, and like you can at times lose sight of Vex, and you got to like kind of look around, and it doesn't like backtrack as well. it's just not quite perfect.
Right. Okay.
Um,
But
yeah.
would you say that if they fix the camera, it would be pretty much another top game like Moss, or would you just say Moss is just still superior in terms of how it is as a platformer?
I at this point probably prefer Moss, but
Yeah.
I've not gotten deep enough into Vex to really speak of that.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, in the 60OF review of Vex, he said like the platforming problems sort of get worse as the game goes on.
Mm.
So I'm a little nervous about that. So that's why I want an update. And it is a $30 game, so it's not necessarily cheap.
No, if you're paying that much money, I know $30 in gaming sense is cheap compared to the rest, but in
yeah,
terms of VR sense, yeah, it is on the top end. You will kind of want it to be pretty polished in terms of, especially if the camera's messing up. If it breaks the immersion, it gets annoying. That's a problem, you know.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um, yeah, so I'm not quite ready to recommend that game to all our viewers, but if you're into platformers, give it a whirl. And I'm gonna hope that there's an update out, and if it ever comes, I'll definitely bring it up.
yeah.
And then outside of that, I did hop into VR chat a little bit this week. And last night, I caught my favorite person ever that I like to run into in a VR chat, and that is Shape Zed.
Hmm.
He's like a musician rapper. You can find him on Spotify and all that. And every once in a while, I just find him in VR chat, and he's just oh, he's so fun to listen to. I love the rooms that I find like musicians, and we were all just sitting around a campfire, and the leader of the group, so to say, had a spreadsheet, and he was just like, all right, this person's up next, and then they got in the campfire and just listen to people play music and hang out and have a
Nice.
drink or two, and it is prime VR and VR chat.
That's VR chat. That's VR in its best. That's VR
Yeah,
in its best. You know, that's when everything is perfect. That's exactly what you want.
exactly.
Yeah, did you do that? Was that in the PC VR space or was it on the
Yeah.
VR?
The room we were in, I think, is probably for both. But yeah, I generally, when I'm in VR chat, I like to play PC VR
Yeah,
because I like seeing everybody's avatars, and I don't like to be limited to the worlds.
yeah. I wonder if they're trying to make the Quest 2 one better or they are full on limited without what they can do with it.
Yeah.
Be interesting to know. Do you play anything else? Because I didn't play anything else. Well, actually, that's not true. I did play the Top Golf Pro beta for the full swing because
Nice.
they got access to that. Yeah. It's the thing is it's a beta, right? It's a beta.
Yeah.
It's quite rough. I think the issue is not so much the game. I think the problem is how the quest works, where if you lift, like if you're taking a golf swing, your arms are going to be behind your head at one point.
Hmm.
Your tracking's gone, you know, in a sense. You don't have tracking cameras around the room. So, and you're not like having a HTC Vive where you can put a tracker on your wrist or something. So you're kind of tracking is gone. Essentially, I feel like they need to. I don't know if they do this. Like, it'd be good to speak to Ryan on this, but if they don't use the tracking cameras for the actual controller and they just use the controller as like a motion controller in a sense when they're in swing mode, I
Hmm.
don't know if they can do something like that. But it's fun. I just had an issue with like it seems too easy. I would say for a full swing golf game. At the moment, like I said, it's rough, but at the same time, it does a lot of good things. The landscapes look beautiful. They've done a really good thing. It's the classic proper art style, but it's a full course. They've added a lot of elements like water and mountains, and it looks really nice. Um, I know, I just as a golfing nerd, when you do your club selection and when you select your club, it makes a sound like you're taking the club out the bag, which I
That's cool.
freaking love, which is so nice. I wish they did it differently though, because the way you do it is you click on the pause menu essentially, and then that brings up your clubs. Where it'd be nicer if you press the button or something and it brings up like a bag, and then you can choose your clubs through the bag rather than just doing through a menu.
I saw a tweet or something that he said that's where they're headed. They want more clubs. They want you to be able to customize your bag and all
Yeah.
that.
I think they're all like little things in the end of the day. I think the main thing is obviously getting that gameplay right. It's a little bit weird how I don't know if this was just my tracking, but when you come up when you have a club in your hand, the club is raised too much from the actual controller itself. It doesn't feel like it's going straight from the controller. It feels like there's like an angle up, where it's weird because in the Top Golf feature and in the Pro Putt feature, that's not the case. It's absolutely fine. So I don't know if that's just because it's beta and it's just a little bit rough around the edges in that case. But it's fun. There's just a lot that needs to be done. It's far, I think. But it's getting there. I don't anticipate this to come out later this year. I feel like this might be a next year thing. There's still a lot to do, and I know it's not a big team. But thing is, if they get it to the level of polish, like they did in Pro Putt in the actual game, I think it'll be fantastic. And I feel like that's where it will get to before it be released to the public.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's serious about his betas and
Yeah,
like
and he's a big
taking the
golfer
time.
as well.
Yeah.
He's a big golfer as well, so he knows how it's meant to feel. And I think as they've been doing this, we've had 2 or 3 full golf games come out on the
Yeah,
Quest
it's
as
pretty
well.
crazy. Yeah.
I've not played them yet. They're like someone's $20, one's on X Lab App Lab, which is called like EX Golf or something like that. I can't remember what
Yeah,
it's
there's
called.
like Experience
That's
Golf
it.
and
That's
then
the one.
the E Club 5 or something like that.
Yeah, E Club 5's
Um,
on the store for $20, and
yeah.
then the Experience one was on App Lab, that's 15. I'm seeing mixed reviews, so I'm not sure whether to buy them yet or not. But
The latter one, the Experience Golf one, I saw BMF tweeted about a golf club
attachment.
attachment. And so I ordered that, and the Experience game for a limited time, I think through the end of August, you get it for free. So the attachment's like $35. That game is worth 15 and you get it for free. So it's basically like
Oh,
getting
sweet. Yeah.
it's a pretty solid deal. I haven't tried the game yet. I'm waiting for the club attachment to come. But
Now that attachment,
yeah.
can you use that in mini walkabout as well? Is it
Oh,
just
I hope so.
yeah? Because
I
they
hope so.
you can buy club attachments. I just didn't know what it's like. Like, is it just like the golf grip and attached to it? There's not like a full on club, right? It's just like
I think in the reviews it said it was like a metal, like I mean, I'll hold out till I
oh,
actually
okay.
get it. But yeah, I think it looked like somebody chopped the top off of a golf club.
Yeah, because if that's the case,
Yeah.
then that's fine. That's fine. Then you'll be able to use it in walkabout and pro putt.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Yeah, I didn't know that. Then I should look into that actually, because that might be worth my while. Because I wanted to get one of those attachments anyway.
Yeah.
And if it comes with the game as well, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But yeah, so yeah, it's rough around the edges at the moment. So I don't really want to, don't say, oh, don't buy this game when it comes out, because no, this is way early days, way
It's
early days.
it's already worth it for the Top Golf and the Pro
Exactly.
Putt experience for sure.
And I have 100% faith in when it does come out, it's going to be really good, because
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna put it out if it's not polished enough. I didn't like you said, they're very serious about it, and they nailed Pro Putt and Top Golf, so I think they'll nail this one too. But yeah, but that's it. That's all I've been playing. Have you played anything else other than Synth Riders? Because you're
No,
practicing for
yeah.
your Olympics.
I definitely played some Synth Riders, but yeah, that's about it.
Nice, nice. Okay, so let's move on to the last part of the show. I think we're running quite long right now, but hey, we've been away for 2 weeks, and I
Yeah.
had to throw a Beerfest story in there. So anyway,
You
the
want me to
games.
take the first one?
Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna do the games release roundup. We only have 3, so after you, Samson.
All right. First up, we got Winlands is coming to App Lab. It's out now. It's a first-person grappling hook exploration game. Soar through the ruins of a fallen civilization and discover the secrets of the ancient world. It appeals to those who want to explore the breathtaking vistas at a relaxing pace, while the challenging routes attract gamers who like to master the skill of soaring through the towering environments at top speed. And I've seen videos of this game. It kind of looks like a, like a Spider-Man type of game,
Does.
or like that you Pitagrad. I forget the name of that one, but it's sort of
I
like
know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
It looks pretty solid. I think Windlands 2 recently just came out on PC VR. I'm not sure. But yeah, Windlands, I believe it's 15 USD.
Yeah, I think so too. This game is actually originally came out on PlayStation VR when
Okay.
it first came out, and PC VR at that time. So whenever the PlayStation VR came out, 2017, I think. Um, the reviews are amazing. People love this game. I think I don't know if it's more of nostalgia when they first played VR, but they love this game. They say the art style is nice and it's just fun to grapple and swing around like a Spider-Man. I've not played it as such. I'm just going by the bunch of 5-star reviews I see
Mhm.
on the App Lab, to be honest. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out, I would say. Okay, so move on to second one, and we've got Mondly. Mondly brings language training to the Quest, and that's on August 26th. So this is completely different. So experience the most advanced way to practice languages from the comfort of your couch. Mondly VR uniquely complements Mondly's mobile language learning app, enabling you to refine your speaking skills. You'll get instant feedback on your pronunciation, suggestions that enrich your vocabulary, and surprises that transform language practice with Mondly VR into a one-of-a-kind experience. Join our lifelike characters in a fully immersive language journey. Now, this is freaking sick, Samson. Not gonna lie. When I saw this, I was like, I have to put this on the show because, yeah, it's not a game. It's completely different to anything that we spoke about before. But essentially, it's like you have your language app. I don't never heard of Mondly, but you have your language app on your phone, like during Duolingo, I guess. But when you're on your VR headset, you get put into scenarios. So there's a lot of languages. There's a lot. I don't have the number on the top of my head and I didn't write it down for some reason, but they have a ton of languages. And essentially they'll put you in like in a restaurant situation. So you'll be like in a restaurant and you'll be talking to the bar person, the bar person, and you'll be having a conversation with them. So you can speak in whatever language you prefer. And if you make a mistake, you'll say no, try again and search. And you'll have an actual one-to-one conversation. There's another one where you're like in a taxi with somebody and then you're talking to him about something, maybe about directions and such. So it puts you into these worlds, which I think is amazing because this is obviously speaking about a language thing. The way to learn a language fluently is to be in the actual environment, is to, if you want to learn Spanish, go to Spain, go to Mexico. You have to be fully immersed. So you want to get into the actual scenarios. So I think this will be such a powerful tool. And I can imagine this being in language classes, like language courses that you can take from private institutions or maybe even like universities to be a really good tool. There's no price on it at the moment. I mean, that's for some reason that's what the Quest mostly does, is that when it's just says coming soon, it doesn't tell you really what the price is. So I don't know how much this will be, or it'll be free along with whatever their mobile app price would be. But this is something I'm definitely interested in. If you want to learn language, I mean, I was just in Montreal and Quebec City, and all they did was speak French. So, I'm definitely interested to see if this is I think there'd be a great tool if you want to learn languages. So, and I was just thinking, I was speaking to a friend of mine earlier this morning about this tool actually, and she was like, imagine if you could change this for different subjects in school. So say if it would be a history class, say you're doing a history class and you're doing, I don't know, World War II randomly, right? And you get put into like a trench, and you get to see, you put the VR, you say, oh, okay, let's see what it's like in an actual trench itself. So you put the VR headset on, you realize, look how disgusting this place looks and such. But I think that could be a really cool tool for VR, and a cool thing that schools could use, just to add a little bit more of visualization, a little bit more of immersive technology into what their subjects are, and definitely help the student understand a little bit more on whatever subject you're in. Obviously, it's not going to really work for math, I guess, but something like history, something like languages, something like a technology. So if you're doing like an engineering something, and then you can put the VR headset on, you can see the models working in real time, and you can interact with it and such. These are all like cool things. And that's why I wanted to add it onto the games releases. But that comes out on August 26th if you really want to learn a language.
Yeah, this probably won't be a purchase of mine, but it definitely sounds cool. Really, I mean, that is you got to the point. That's the way to learn a language the best. I'm curious if maybe the purchase method will be like you buy languages, that type of deal, or like a language pack.
Yeah, could be. I feel like that makes the most sense because I think most people are just probably into learning just one. So why pay
Yeah,
for the full package, right? Or it might be a subscription fee, like almost
yeah,
everything.
yeah, it's true.
Indeed.
And last up, we have I Expect You to Die 2, which releases on August 24th. And welcome back, Agent. Zoraxis believes you are dead. To capitalize on this moment, we're sending you deep undercover to explore some diabolical intelligence the agency has received regarding Zorax's move for world domination. Here's what we can tell you now. Your first mission is to protect the Prime Minister, who's attending a theater production featuring world famous actor and celebrity John Juniper. And yeah, this thing looks great. I already pre-bought it with the 10% discount.
Still going on. Still going on
Yeah,
as well.
still, yep. And I still got to play the first one, quite honestly. But this, like everything I've read and the game, it looks great. If you're into puzzles at all, probably this is going to be a recommend.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick this game up as well, to be honest. But I think the promotion ends when it comes out on August 24th. It's currently 10% off, which is a couple dollars or so. You know,
Hmm.
it's like a $22 game after the discount, I think. Um, I know our patron, Kimberly, is a big, big fan of the first one. She loves it, absolutely loves it. And yeah, I know I should have played the first one too, but I guess I don't know. I wonder if they made them. I don't know how the first one is. Obviously, you don't either. But I wonder if will have some Easter eggs to come from the first one if it did have a good story and such. I don't know if it will do, but or you can just pick it up. I feel like it would be a good standalone game as well.
Yeah, and
Um,
actually I think on day of recording here, it's the daily deal on the Oculus store. So if you're one of our patrons, you don't have this game, pick it up while you can.
for
I
the
think it's like
first one, right?
for the first one, yeah. I think it's like 20 or 30% off today.
Okay, I think I might pick it up too. I think I might pick it up. It depends. I might look at it and I don't know what the differences are. As far as I'm aware, it's more of the same
Mhm.
than the first one. But I think Upload VR did a good interview or doing an interview today with one of the developers to talk about more of the game. So I might check that out first and see if there's any big differences. Because if there's no massive differences, it's just like more of the same. It's just another like expansion. Then I
Mhm.
might just pick up the first one a day and just jump into it. And if I love it, pick up the second one.
Yeah. It's a good call. And then just talking about games, there's a VR collection
Yeah.
which hosts a bunch of App Lab games. It's vrcollection.club, and currently running a deal where normally it's just like random games that you get and they're unrevealed and they give it to you at a 50% price. But until August 24th, you can actually reveal the games and still get the 50% price. Great site. I think at this point I own most of the App Lab games offered there, but definitely some good gems there to check out.
Does it end on 24th or
Like
before
I
20?
think I think the site just keeps going on, but the ability to reveal the games you're going to buy and still get the 50% discount ends on
Yeah.
the 24th. Whereas normally if you reveal the games, the discount
Yeah.
goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. I did post this on the Patreon group yesterday when I did the script because 24th will be the day that this podcast goes
Hmm.
live. So it might be gone by the time you're listening to this if you're on the public. But if it's not, quickly jump on it because it might be the final day, August 25th or 24th instead.
Yeah,
Definitely. And you picked up a few bundles, didn't you? Of course you
I
did.
did. I did.
Of
Of
course you
course.
did. Awesome. And then yeah, from there, I guess, yeah, well, you said before the show was you have a few duplicate codes as well. So we can definitely give those away. If you write into Let's Talk Oculus, if anyone's got to this far and made it past the Beerfest story and such, definitely just write into the show. And if we have enough codes, I do have a bunch of codes. Kimberly was kind enough to send me one or two ProPuck codes, I think, earlier this month as well, which I still haven't given away. So yeah, I do have a bunch of codes. So write into Let's Talk Oculus. If no one writes in, just give it to the Patreon fans, you know. Why not? Why not? But yeah, that's everything. Thanks, Samson. Yeah, anything else to add before we say our goodbyes?
No, this was a nice long one, but it's good to be back. And yeah, I've been Samson.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice long one. Next week, Samson won't be on it.
It's my turn to go on vacation.
It's Samson's turn. One day we'll have a consecutive 2 podcasts in a row, you know. But it's fine because next week I'm gonna have 3 guests on the show. Actually, we're gonna do something a little bit different, but it's all gonna come out normally, so nothing's gonna change on your front. So stay tuned for that. But thanks a lot for listening. Yeah, thanks for a lot for listening to us ramble on. So we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys.